Friends and followers, welcome to our channel Viki Organics. My wife is giving me the bird again, isn't she? Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make a backpack. That's it.
Nothing else?
No, I have nothing more to add. Okay, first things first. Let's cut up some pieces for the primary pockets. And truth be told, I really don't have a dimension in mind. I'm sort of eyeballing it, making sure that the length of zipper that I have kind of fits within the pocket size that I'm making. The second fabric piece that you see is basically the lining material, and it's about 500 thread per inch Egyptian cotton. And the primary panel, of course, is 15-ounce cotton duck. Cool. Now let's go ahead and install the zipper. But prior to that, as you might have guessed, I actually stitched this inside out. So now I got to do the reverse. I got to turn everything right side out again. Okay, so that's done. This panel is basically the central divider. It's basically a core of cotton duck covered on both sides with the Egyptian cotton lining material and quilted throughout. I intend to have a pocket specially made to hold my water bottle, and that's what you see me doing here. I'm basically trying to size it up. Okay, so now that I have the central divider and the pockets ready, it's time to move on to the side panels. And for obvious reasons, I don't need one, I actually need two of the side panels. And what you do is basically I stitch the central divider that I had along the center of each side panel, on both sides, that is. Okay. Now it was time for me to move on to the primary fabric and leather panel that make up the body of the bag, and I'm going to make it in one piece, sort of shaped like a U. Now the leather is pretty thin and I need to prep its edges. Since it's too thin, I cannot really use any leather edging technique, so what I'm doing here is basically turning the edge over and holding it in place by contact cement. So yeah, as I explained, this single panel will form the front, the back and the bottom folded in the shape of a U. There was a couple of raw edges near the top I had to take care of. I decided not to fold it over. Instead, what I did was I bound them in a strip of folded leather. In terms of the primary closure mechanism for the bag, I could have gone with zippers, I could have gone with buttons. It was really a personal choice and convenience. I chose to install a big fat Velcro over the top. So that's where I'm at. What I could do yesterday was to connect these shoulder straps. These webbings, by the way, anyway, you could get a lot of webbings which are made out of polypropylene or nylon. Me being Viki Organics, I obviously couldn't use them. So what I ended up doing was order these yoga belts. I mean, that's how they are sold. They're basically strips of canvas, really strong. So I ended up using those. What's left is obviously making the primary top flap on this thing. And I'm going to use these cool little clips which I had ordered online and I just received. They're really sturdy. Oops. And two of these will go over here and here where the top flap will close. The construction of the front pocket, of course, is like the rest of the bag. It's a combination of a lining material of Egyptian cotton and cotton duck. Of course, I drew a quilting pattern throughout that panel. Yeah, it really looked nice. And I installed the zipper on the fabric, on the leather side. Tell you what, I really like adding these pull tabs at both corners of the zipper. It makes the job of opening the zipper that much easier. Now the pattern leather that you see me using over here is pretty thin. It's about 1 millimeter, so you can handle that with most tailoring tools, scissors and sewing machine. The smaller pieces of brown leather that you see, that's a little thicker, and normal scissors really don't do a good job, so I ended up using an X-Acto knife and a cutting mat. And once I was done, I decided to finish the edges by singeing them with basically what is a new soldering iron. Once I finished all the stitching, I decided to strengthen a few strategic points I know which would be subjected to more wear and tear, and I ended up installing these cool leather rivets. Okay guys, so finally I am done with this project. Took me about 2 weeks, working through the entire weekend and a few of the weekdays in the evening, probably an hour or so. The project in itself was not very difficult. It's just that I don't have a leather stitching machine. I have a home sewing machine, and it was a nightmare. It kept skipping stitches all the time. So I had to redo them several times during the course of the project. The final product I intend to use as a diaper bag for my baby, so that's why I didn't go with the taller form factors, because you tend to lose things the deeper the bag is. This one is okay, and I have attached the clip. This is just a bean bag I put inside to take a nice photo of this thing. The trouble that I had in making this was I had to have it lined completely. I did not want any leather to be showing, leather on canvas to be showing within the pocket. So I was always fighting with the way in which I had to orient the lining material and the leather and the canvas. So I went wrong a couple of times. But yeah, I think it looks pretty nice and comfy inside. The chain works nice. I have 2 pockets, one at the front and other one at the flap. And yeah, if you want to do try to make some of these things at home. It's really fun, and let me know how it went. And other than that, thank you so much for joining me in this video. It's been a long one, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.